Yo, gang, welcome back to Trollbot Studios, and this is Trollbot.EXE. And welcome to the History of Dragon Ball Part 13! Today, I plan on covering Dragon Ball GT's US release, the Ultimate Uncut Special Edition of Dragon Ball Z Episodes 1 through 67, the remastered season sets for Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Z Abridged, if that counts, since DBZ Abridged is a parody. And also, we're on part 13 already. Jeez! Can we get that effect? There it is. Alright, let's go for the recap. Yee! Last time on the History of Dragon Ball, we covered the Kanzenban releases of the original Dragon Ball manga, AV Group's Big Green Dub, and the Dragon Box sets for the original anime trilogy. One thing I forgot to mention is that while the Dragon Box sets had much better picture, the audio wasn't really fixed at all, let alone to the quality of the big box VHS. Anyway, let's get right into the video. Before we start this video, can we take a moment to appreciate how utterly awesome the English opening for Dragon Ball GT is? Listen to this.
Step into the Grand Tour, Dragon Ball GT. Step into the Grand Tour.
Yeah, I know, right? Anyway, right after Dragon Ball ended its run, Funimation decided to move on to Dragon Ball GT. Promotional material of it was shown in a DVD of another anime called Fruits Basket. The musical score was done by Mark Menza, who also did the score for the DBZ movies, meaning they did not keep the Tokunaga score as they did for Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball GT started airing on Cartoon Network in the winter of 2004. Strangely, they started with episode 17 instead of the usual episode 1. Frankly, that was because they were scared the first 16 episodes would draw away the massive fan base. And given the first 16 episodes, yeah, I don't blame them. This was fixed with Funimation creating an original episode called A Grand Problem, which was a recap of the first 16 episodes. Actually, it only took scenes from episodes 1, 2, and 16. But Funimation's dub of Dragon Ball GT ran all the way until the end of the series on episode 64, which aired in the spring of 2005. The first 16 episodes were covered in the fall of 2005. Dragon Ball GT was released on DVD from 2003 to 2005, and strangely, in the same order they aired the TV series. Many people really don't like the dub of Dragon Ball GT, and especially not the English opening, but I, in my personal opinion, love the English opening. However, Dragon Ball GT was re-aired on Nicktoons in 2012, so good for GT. Anyway, let's move on to the Ultimate Uncut Special Edition of Dragon Ball Z! With Dragon Ball GT done, Funimation's work was basically done on the Dragon Ball franchise. Well, except for one thing. What about the first 67 episodes and the first 3 movies of Dragon Ball GT they heavily edited? That's why in 2005, Funimation redubbed the first 67 episodes in their uncut form. They aired it on Cartoon Network from June to October 2005. It was also released on DVD during 2006 in English, Japanese, and Spanish, giving US audiences for the first time the ability to see the original Japanese version of the first 67 episodes. In 2005 and 2006, Funimation also redubbed the first 3 movies. Not that they even needed to, because Pioneer's dub exists. Back to the DVD side of things, Funimation was only able to get out the first 27 episodes, with 9 volumes. Those DVD releases were cancelled in favor of the remastered season sets / orange bricks, in which from what I saw are some of the worst home releases of Dragon Ball to date. Matter of fact, let's get into that, shall we? A long time ago, in 2007, Funimation announced the remastered release of Dragon Ball Z, which is now referred to as the orange bricks. Everyone was probably excited because the Dragon boxes were only released in Japan at the time. In these orange bricks, the original 6 Toonami seasons were split into 9, and they included all 291 uncut episodes. That's where everybody gets confused in which how many seasons Dragon Ball Z has, 6 or 9. It's 6, not 9. Don't let the orange bricks fool you. Anyway, to give more clarification on what episodes were released, Funimation released the Ultimate Uncut Edition of episodes 1 through 67, and their dub of episodes 68 to 291. Episodes 68 to 74 were strangely considered part of Season 2 and not Season 3, as they were originally released as part of Season 3. They also included one of the worst opening themes I've ever heard in Dragon Ball Z. Listen to this. Anyway, the orange bricks dwindled with popularity over the time they have been released, and if that wasn't enough, the dialogue in Season 3 has been heavily redone. I mean, come on! Let people have the cheesy dialogue they desire and love! Oh, and they rearranged some of Falconer's music pieces that were used. Oh my gosh, the picture on the orange bricks looks like absolute doo-doo cheese! Just look at this! Look at it! Probably looks like garbage because Funimation decided to make it look newer and failed horrendously, as evidenced by what you just saw, and made it in 16:9 when the original aspect ratio was 4:3. So basically, Funimation decided to make a remastered version and failed in every way possible, resulting in one of the worst remastered releases in the history of ever. Okay, and that's all the time we have for today, folks. For part 14, we're going into Dragon Ball Z Abridged, the Dragon Ball GT bricks, and probably Dragon Ball Evolution. God, I'm gonna enjoy ripping that movie to pieces. Anyway, until then, later, fools!